Former prosecutor Joyce Vance joins us. Your thoughts on all of this tonight?
Well, you know, that moment that you've just played for your viewers, that's the moment where the fever dream broke during the McCarthy era. The question I think we're all asking ourselves this week, watching event after event after event, is will the fever dream ever break, right? We're already watching today an administration that's in open defiance of a court order, a judge who said, update me on the status of this man who you have conceded you unlawfully deported. And the government responded, oh, Judge, it's not convenient for us to do that. So I think we really are at this moment. I mean, we've watched this progressively, Ari. There's been the debate about are we in a constitutional crisis? And the answer to that question is now very clear. We are in a full-blown confrontation between this White House and the courts. And the question is, do the courts have the serious level of teeth, of enforcement ability? At some point, will they step in and tell the White House, we said it and we mean it?
Right. And that comes in a case where, while immigration powers are broad, the Supreme Court definitively ruled against at least the mistaken deportation part of this yesterday. I showed this Trump prosecutor who used to be his personal lawyer announcing what they say is a probe of a Democratic official with apparently no predicate. Do you see the stated reason for that probe of the Democratic governor? Do you see that as valid? Would that open a case when you were a U.S. attorney?
You know, it's not valid. It's not close to valid. You have to believe that a crime has been committed to open an investigation. It's a very low bar, but it's not no bar. And coming in the not too distant future is this hurdle, the federal principles of prosecution, that says prosecutors can't indict a case if they lack sufficient evidence to obtain or sustain a conviction. Those aren't just words written on paper, because prosecutors face judges and juries. And cases without evidence, even if the president wants to see them prosecuted, they don't succeed. So here's what's happening in the District of New Jersey, a federal district with a storied past, a district that's prosecuted public corruption cases, but has also gone out of its way to protect its citizens from violent crime, from civil rights violation, from other legitimate federal crimes. Now we have someone who is embarking on revenge prosecutions. And that doesn't end well, because whether you're the attorney general or the governor in New Jersey, you know that you're going to be able to bring a successful defense of selective and vindictive prosecution. But what we see before these investigations get to that stage is the use of federal investigative procedures to harass people for no reason other than the fact that the president of the United States has decided to abuse his power so he can make a point with people that he doesn't like.
And briefly, when we look at federalism meaning something, that states have their own independent power, are there other measures they can take if they think this is politicized or even potentially, as you said, unlawful selective prosecutorial harassment?
They can certainly appeal to the court of public opinion, and they should. But the problem is we're not living through a normal administration where internal offices in the Justice Department would pump the brakes and say, you can't do this. There's no predication for this investigation. Ultimately, that will be up to the courts if this even proceeds to an indictment, which seems enormously unlikely to me.
Understood. Joyce Vance, thank you. Have a great weekend. We have deepening fears coming up tonight on the ongoing trade war problem and scrutiny on MAGA enablers who still want